Alright, what's up guys? Ark here, back with Devlog for LimBox number 2. So, here's what I'm going to be going over. I'm going to be going over two things. Two things is the structure of the game. So that means some scene hierarchy things, and two, just the generalized changes overall. So first of all, we have our menu scene right here, and then we have our level 0 scene. Okay, that's a lot all of a sudden. However, let me kind of explain what is going on here. So since you were last here, I did a lot of organizing on the scene hierarchy and just like generally what I want to be like, what I want to be going over. So as you see here, there's a dev box and then there's a regular map. These are completely two different objects. As you see here in this view, there's the actual level over here, and then here's like the development level where I kind of test a lot of things out and generally just make some little changes. But if you look in the scene hierarchy, here's kind of how I'm designing. So there are this isn't like multiplayer supported yet, but it will be. So essentially, there will be a spawn points, or maybe just generally spawns. Okay, I'm going to be adding those. And then there's going to be entities, objects, and an environment. However, in the main map, it's just going to be spawn points, geometry, entities, and lights. Probably should be underneath there, right there. And so, as well as this, actually, I've yet to add objects. So, objects. So, there will be 5 categories in each map. There will be spawn points, geometry, lights, entities, and objects. I'm going to make entities at the very bottom. Objects are here. So, what this allows me to do is allows me to kind of categorize what the different things in the maps. So if we go over here into geometry, you'll be able to see what is currently in the map geometry. There isn't much right now, but a lot of it is just planning for wide-scale map creation. I'm still getting used to a lot of the scene hammer tools, so these tools up here, about making quads, resizing, placing different objects in the world, making sure they have the right texture transforms, and face texture transforms, and etc., and making sure they play out nice. I'm currently in wireframe mode, so you can kind of see everything easier. I usually don't have it on here. Might actually keep it on here because it's kind of good. But anyways, I just want to kind of go over like the different categories in this way. We have the lights. Obviously, there's just the lights in the world, just so I can kind of like keep them more organized. And if I ever wanted to shut off the lights, I could just do that, and boom. It just makes things more modular. Objects are going to be the things that you see in here. So, for example, like a Maxwell object. Cool little Maxwell here. It will essentially have its own object. Actually, for the purpose of this, I will be copying and putting a Maxwell right here. So this new Maxwell, okay, is going to be located in the defaults. So if we go here, boom, we have Maxwell in this area over here. I'm going to kind of put him in the light a little bit. I'm also going to turn off wireframe mode just so we can kind of see him a little bit here. Boom. There's a little Maxwell. Good job. Essentially, it'll just have the objects here, and then we got the entities. Entities are just prototype stage objects in the world that have some type of moving or dynamic functionality. Similar to objects, the entities work by themselves. They are also NPCs. So if we go into the game right now and we go in, this little object over here that's kind of like floating around, doing its own thing, and making sure everything is hunky-dory, is moving around autonomously. It will also be reactive to the player. So if the player gets like within a certain radius of the object, it will be slowly drawn toward torn a certain point and hovered there. This isn't implemented now. This is just what's going to be like planned for this entity. I think it's really important for backrooms games to be synonymous with the lore. And in the lore, there are these light entities or these light guides that help the player into, or that just help people in general to lead them to certain things. So I want to implement a light guide to be able to help new players figure out what world they just entered into. Because a lot of backrooms games, right, they just kind of like pop you in, right? Which is what is supposed to happen. And this just allows a way for you to attach to something that leads you around the world to kind of like inspire exploration, because that's what primarily the game is going to be about, is exploration and environment. That's going to be the main 2 points of the game. So I'm going to be having this light guide right here. He's just going to be kind of like floating around. He's going to be talking about, sorry, not talking, but he'll be leading us around different areas. Right now, he's just roaming around. He doesn't have a lot of functionality. He interacts with walls and stuff, it interacts with walls and is able to eventually react with the player. Another thing I kind of wanted to showcase here was just the generalized attention to detail I kind of want in the game, but not to the point where it hurts performance. So occasionally, you're going to be seeing like these little things, or these little things around the game world that are relevant to the structure of the game. So right here we have like a little desk with textures, and they're fully PBR'd, and it will have it'll just be a way of communicating to the player that there's some sort of significance in this area for whatever reason. And that leads us to the PC entity, or the PC object, rather. So let's go into the dev box, and we'll see what that is all about. I think this is this object. So we have here a couple things. We currently have a UI rendered behind a glass texture, and then from there it displays certain things. In the future, I'm gonna make it so that you interact with this, or you interact at least with the computer to just kind of zoom you in and kind of look and see what you were looking at, kind of like a scripted event almost. And you'll be able to see and interact with what is on the screen. So as you can see from just like the close up here, can I full screen this actually? Can I full screen you? Yeah, I can. Okay, so what you see here is the is what's on the screen. So at the top left, you're going to see the dynamic elements of the terminal. So this terminal currently has a date and a timestamp that is currently ticking, and then we have a can't really point to it, the full like command per se that you're going to be like seeing in the terminal. And then you're going to have a JSON related script here that reads as the following: SCP Foundation, secure communications, whom it may concern, be aware, Lionomies, always stay in lit, yada yada yada. Then it has a closing and a postscriptum at the bottom. I think this is really important to add as much detail as I can to the game like this. I'm hoping to make it in the future a little bit, to kind of like stylize this a little more and make it not look so like cut and dry, but in the meantime, this works. So I think it's really important to keep aware of the context clues that I add into the game as kind of like little surprises for you guys to be able to find. Being able to go up to like a terminal or go up to an object and know its significance in the world and know where to bring the object to different areas in a specific level allows you to see extra secrets and extra content in the game itself. So I'm kind of planning on making it where not only is this interactable, this PC here, but it will also give you more context of what world you are in, and it just gives you an abstract narrative. Just to give you an idea of all of it. Of course, But that's all it is right here, right now, is just a concept idea of being able to see this. You're going to see this a lot more in the game, do not worry. Especially in different levels. The office level is going to be filled. Just wait. Another example is I want to use physics-based objects as a way to interact with navigating the world. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. Okay, that just happened. I just fell through the world. I don't know why that happened. But anyways, I want to make it so that physics-based objects can impede your way through the levels. Okay, because right now you're gonna, yeah, you can like walk into this and right now, but imagine if we were just blocked, like we couldn't go through, like, oh, this is a way to get through or whatever. This is a very generalized example. You could press, hold, lift, and move it out of your way, as so. Okay, I will kind of want to make that more of a staple in the Backrooms games for certain areas that need to be have areas that need to be moved. And I think that's really important to the world building aspect of the game because I'm going to be making sure that there's like different objects in the game that are like, oh, you can like there's a painting on the wall, you can grab it and then use it as like as a tool to get something you couldn't get before or stuff like that, right? Physics based things that you can do. I'm planning to add more of those. But in general, like we have these little objects here for now that just kind of like enrich the world a little bit. So let's give Mixwell a bath there. There you go. And then with the lighting itself, so let's go ahead and end this here. And let's kind of like look at what the lighting is right here. So here is a texture I found on the S&Box cloud browser that kind of shows like a aberrated version of the I wouldn't say aberrated, but more like a refractive version of the glass shader. So right now you see right here, let's go to the level light. There are two lights here that kind of like indicate a fake illusion of light. So this is my current implementation, but I'm planning to add maybe something experimenting with point lights more. Point lights have been really buggy for me, but anyways, I'm hoping to make this into something a little bit different. So in the future, but in general, this is kind of how my current iteration of the light is, and it's a mesh component with a texture of this PBR texture, and then we have a backlight, which is just a solid light version, and then we have a block light in the back that just kind of like shows that it can't be done there. That's not really relevant though, because this point light doesn't show shadows and just is there. But I think this current implementation of it adds really well to the generalized indirect light look of the game. I think it's really important to be able to add a lot of diffuse lighting to these types of environments, especially at level 0. And then as we go along, we'll have harsher lights like what you'll see in the other levels. So a lot of geometry work is going on here to try to make this world a little bit better. Here's like a basic example I copped up in like 2 minutes of just like the abstractness of like the architecture I'm going for. From this, you will see certain elements in the game that might be more complex than this. I'm still learning the scene tools, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. But in general, a lot of these objects will have PBR textures because I do want to focus on like the semi-realism of the game, especially when it comes to graphics. I think making the environment a little bit more diverse is a good idea for that. Everything else has just been kind of just organized more in general. So being able to keep everything more organized and scalable has been like my focus in these last 2 weeks. So not not a crazy amount of progress, but a lot of it has just been iterating over and over and over and over again on like how I want to organize the project. And once I get that down, you're going to see a lot more progress. For now, just tune into the Waymo or the what are you working on area of the S&Box Discord. I'm going to be posting a lot of my updates there just to kind of like showcase the little things that are coming to the game and to kind of like get feedback. So if you ever want to talk to me on like whatever is there, just go there. You're more than welcome to mention me in that area, and I'll get to you eventually. You're going to see this on the this devlog on the S&Box site that recently got reworked. So try to go there and check it out as well. Anyways, guys, I think that pretty much just wraps up what is going on right here. TLDR changed a lot of things and a lot of organizing. All right, guys, thank you very much, and tune into the Waymo for more information.